Good Friday afternoon. Boy, what is going on there? How did that happen? Oh, I know what happened. Let me remove that. Look, we're behind ourselves. Are you paying attention to me?
Yes, now I'm sorry. I was kind of hitting that send on the last email. Last moment, everything. Life is hard.
Yes, it is. It's not like you haven't been working crazy hours this week.
Not more than the previous.
Yeah, but there's this little thing called KubeCon going on.
Oh, yeah. No. I mean, previous week was horrible. This one is also very intense. I mean, not horrible, intense. Let's say intense.
Yeah.
Very intense, yes.
Okay.
And because of you...
I made it more intense, more problematic.
No, you made it less intense. Now I'm not watching KubeCon. I'm speaking with you.
We can go watch KubeCon if you want. That's fine.
No. It's okay. I already saw everything I'm gonna see probably.
And we'll get to that in a minute. By the way, hi, if you're here with us live today, if you've not met us before, my name is Darren. This over here is Victor in the nice blue background today, or purple. I'm not sure which it is. And we are the podcast, what are we? The co-host of a podcast called DevOps Paradox. On Fridays, we do this live session called DevOps Paradox Live. It's usually just the thing that where I walk away and this is my lunch break and this is Victor's dinner break. And this kind of week, get your drink because today it's not been a fun. It's not been a fun week for me. No, yeah, go get your drink. That's fine. We'll wait for him to get back. And if you don't have a drink, go get your drink. In fact, I'll leave him there. So his chair is nice and black, and he's got his nice purple background. How did he not remember to bring his drink? Oh, by the way, hang on a second. I've got something else going on. All right, so hang on a second. Let me get Victor going here. There, he's back. Okay, now you're back. Okay, hang on just a second. Why don't you talk for a second? My wife's walking in.
Blah, 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 blah. Wife, don't walk in.
What do you need?
So yeah, very intense week. KubeCon raging. A lot of cool stuff and even more boring stuff happening. I think that I enjoyed maybe like 1/4 of all the talks. And but we'll get there probably.
Today's the last day, right? I haven't even kept
last day, yes.
Other than your day job hallway stream, I haven't kept up with it. I just happened to notice it last night.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about that later. But anyway, let me get back over here. Vladislav is around. Howdy, people. We are here. And there's Dominic.
Hey, Dominic.
And if you've seen Victor around the hallways of KubeCon this week, that would be weird because there is no hallway. It's a virtual hallway, but it's what it is. Will we give a digest of KubeCon? I think Victor will because I haven't kept up with it. But we'll get to that in just a minute. There's lots of news around KubeCon, I think.
Right? A lot.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of news.
Do you want to do that first? Oh, wait. Before we do that first, we've done the drink. Oh, let's talk about... Let me get my notes back here. I am so out of sorts right now. This week's episode with Olaf. And no, not Olaf from the movie. What was that? Frozen? Frozen,
yes.
Yeah. It wasn't that Olaf. Olaf has great hair. So therefore it's not the Olaf from Frozen.
He masked himself.
Yeah. I had a weird title for this one. Where you live should not define your pay. And even though that's just part of what we talked about, that was the thing that sort of jumped out at me when I was doing the final edits. What did you think of that one? I actually haven't talked to you about that.
It's a tough subject. I mean, it should and it shouldn't. On one hand, there is, kind of it's a market, right? People are goods and services and everything is somewhere cheaper, somewhere more expensive. And it would be silly not to expect companies to leverage that. Right. On the other hand, if we are working remotely, am I really less productive if I work from a cheaper country or not? Probably not. So it's very hard to balance those two, I think.
It is.
Because realistically, if I get typical Spanish salary, I live in Spain, I would not do the work. I would go somewhere else immediately, right? On the other hand, if I would get a typical San Francisco salary, like some colleagues, then I would probably buy a palace here, right?
Right.
So,
yeah. So the short answer is it depends.
It depends.
But it
no, it cannot. I
can't
promise
be, it depends.
that I will never say it depends. It doesn't depend. Ultimately, it's really if we are global market and we are becoming a global market, then things are global, including the workforce. And if I can get higher salary for working for some company in some other country, then I will go there. And that's why I don't work for Spanish company, right? Simply because market is global.
Yep. Okay, so let's get into one of the first things that I saw that isn't necessarily KubeCon related, but it is, right?
Everything is KubeCon related this week.
Everything's, pretty much. So, and I think I saw you talk about this on one of your hallway tracks. Or somebody, maybe you didn't talk about it, but somebody else was talking about it. What's up with this developer sandbox thing?
So it's basically the simplifying lives of developers to try out Anthos, learn Anthos. And to me, any attempt to make things easier, at least for developers, right? I understand that if you're a system operator and stuff like that, things might have to be complicated. But for developers, making it easier to jump into Anthos and try it out, that's awesome. Any similar attempt is awesome.
Yep. So, and by the way, all the links that we're going to be showing today will be down in the show notes once this gets posted, probably sometime tomorrow. Or maybe even tonight. I don't know. Tonight, Eastern. Depends on how I'm feeling. So anyway, Anthos starts to show up. Now, these news items this week are not in a really good order. I didn't really group them. So let's just go to the next one because I brought this one up and I thought it was interesting. JetStack is donating cert-manager to CNCF.
Brilliant.
What about this? Huh?
It's brilliant. JetStack is cert-manager is one of my favorite tools. I cannot imagine a life now without cert-manager. Even though I understand that enterprises don't use it, cannot use it still. It's awesome. And it's amazing. And being governed by independent body like CNCF is almost a requirement for any open source project to kind of go to the next step in adoption, contributions, whatnot. Now, I'm not very pleased that I have two monitors, and if I put that CNCF map on two monitors and large monitors, I still cannot see what's on it. Kind of like it's just ridiculously big, CNCF itself.
Yeah. But
kudos to JetStack.
Yep, it was the right thing to do, I think, and it's Sandbox at this point, so.
Everything it's a requirement. It needs to be Sandbox when it tries.
First. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Azure's AKS updates. There was some big stuff here. No, I don't want to take a survey. Thank you very much. Here was the big one. Actually, I had notes. What were the big ones? 119 is GA for them now. Is Google already 119 available? I know EKS is not. You're muted.
Google tends to be the slowest of all.
Of the three? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not kind of terribly slow like EKS was 2 years ago, but yeah.
But this, if I can find it here, where is it? Oh, I think it was at the top. Right here. With the GA of Container D support in AKS, Container D is now the default container runtime. How big is this? Is this a big deal?
That's huge. That's primarily for me because now finally when I've been bragging about that, I've been telling people all the time, especially people designing software for other others to use, like third-party sorter. So I've been yelling at people, you cannot assume that there is a Docker in Kubernetes cluster. It will not be Docker forever. It will be replaced with something. You cannot make that assumption. And now I have proof of what I'm saying. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
So, again, is it a big deal?
It is a big deal because now you'll see how many applications will break. You have no idea how many third-party apps are using Docker in Docker or privileged Docker or Docker this or Docker that somehow goes to Docker running on a node. Huge amount of applications. And now they're going to start breaking. Now they're going to suffer for not listening to me.
So it's just now starting.
Yeah.
This should be fair warning. If you're on Google, if you're on AWS, and you're doing the things that Victor just said, you might want to rethink those things. You're getting ready to get into holiday times.
Now I'm waiting for the news. I hope that like a year from now there will be news that now Docker is removed. It's still an option. You can choose Docker.
Yeah. But it's not there by
default option.
Yeah.
Now next step is there will be no Docker.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you want to have Docker Swarm, Docker networking, Docker storage, support for ACI, kind of like, and all the stuff that you don't use in Kubernetes? Why would you want to have that?
Yeah. This is your warning shot right now. Even if you're not AKS, it will show up for other people.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Voucher. I thought this was interesting. Going back to the Google part of this. This is signing, right? Did you dig into this?
No, I haven't. I
Okay.
haven't tried it yet, so I don't know.
So it was developed by, and this is a great team. I wish I could be part of this team. The Software Supply Chain Security team from Shopify. And they obviously on Google Cloud, and it evaluates images created by pipelines and signs them if they meet certain predefined security criteria. This is a big deal, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's open source, but now it's going to be part of, and they've got some pictures here of how it's going to work. Now, this isn't radically new. Other people have had this. In fact, Docker had this, right?
Yeah, Docker had it. I mean, many had it. JFrog, I think, as well.
So, you can try it out. It's on GitHub. There's a click to deploy in the Google Cloud Marketplace. Easy for me to say. And also a step-by-step tutorial.
So funny how, I mean, not funny, but you know how we built features that in our companies that we hope to sell, and we sell them and stuff like that. But it's so curious how fast things are becoming commoditized, right?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot, I mean, half a year from now, when others do the similar thing, if they didn't already, you will not be able to sell that anymore.
Yeah. Speaking of not being able to sell something, did you see this one coming? Amazon Lightsail containers. Did you see this coming at all?
No.
This is basically, if you look at this, this is Heroku pricing. Amazon Lightsail containers is just the Docker or the container side of Lightsail.
So it's Azure container instances, right?
This is ACI. Yeah, this is
ACI.
AWS's answer to ACI. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I mean, it's great because there is a huge amount of people who just need an application running somewhere, no, they're without 500 different dependencies, without some special scaling and stuff like that. Like our website, right?
Yeah.
That could be a perfect example for that. Why not?
Yes.
The reason why I was kind of is that I don't see this used just like what I said for ACI in a kind of bigger company setting.
Yeah.
But it has its market, so it's cool.
So powered by EC2, RDS, ALB, and other services. So when deploying to Lightsail, you can choose between 6 operating systems, blah, 7 applications, blah, and 7 stacks, blah, but now Docker. So, I mean, this is, why not, right?
No, it's great. I think it's just that kind of, I think that, and I might be wrong for this one because I haven't tried that. AWS is really trying too much to repurpose stuff. Like, I don't know why you're telling me about why it's called Lightsail and why are you mentioning EC2 instances and all those things. I'm not supposed to care about those things.
Yep.
At all.
Yep. I want GCR everywhere. I want that level of... But, again, this is their answer to Heroku, literally based on pricing. Going back to starting at $7 a month. Gee, that sounds familiar, right? That's Heroku's model. Okay.
Yep.
Lightsail containers. I think it's cool. Next. We're really going to get to KubeCon. Artifact Registry is now GA. So Google Cloud is finally, truly now into not just container registry, not just GCR, but artifacts, everything. This is Artifactory Nexus, but within Google.
Yep.
Boring.
Again,
it's commodity.
It's boring and it's good. Kind of, if I'm running in Google Cloud, then why would I bother with anything but their own service for registry, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying, actually there might be good reasons, but then somebody else needs to have a very compelling features for me to. It cannot be slightly better anymore, right?
Yep. And what's interesting is it gets into integrations with Artifact Registry. You got StackRox, Qualys, Palo Alto, and Sysdig. So, again, it's not just a registry. It's got some smarts too.
I like how Google and Azure are having a very clear strategy to partner with other companies and actually kind of create an ecosystem that is beyond their own capabilities, I think. I think that's very cool. And that's probably the part that I like the least about AWS, that they're really trying to eliminate everybody, while Google and Cloud are more going, hey, we can do this and we're going to let third parties do that. And I think that's awesome. That's much healthier.
Okay. A couple of tools for the week. Secretize. I was scratching my head on this one. Let me do that. So Secretize is a customized plugin that helps in generating secrets from various sources. They almost have your favorite phrasing here, which you can't see. It's like a Swiss Army knife, but for Kubernetes secrets. What was that other company that had that phrasing that was like that? Like
Loki, Prometheus, but for logs.
But for logs, yeah. So they tried that. They failed. Sorry, Secretize. You can generate secrets using the following providers: cert-manager, Vault, HashiVault, other Kubernetes secrets is weird, and environment variables. I don't know. I'm not a customized person, so, and I'm assuming you've worked with it some, right?
Yeah, it's not. I still prefer Helm, but
Yeah.
that would be a longer story.
Okay.
But this is something that I see being so HashiCorp and all those secret managers, they're going to continue existing. The ones that this tool is integrating with. But this part, what this tool is doing, that's going to be commoditized very soon. That's going to become a part of offering, right? If AWS is giving you secrets management, they're going to plug it into your cluster very, very soon.
Yeah. So I don't expect this one to be around for very long. What do you think?
For there is always a case of. Can you go down to the list again?
Yeah. Right there.
Okay, there is Vault. So there is always a case of on-prem clusters.
True.
So
yeah.
Vault is the thing in this list.
Okay. That was the first tool. Vaku. Oh, wait, I messed up. Actually, here, hang on a second. Not that one yet. I don't have a lower third for this one. Copilot came out. And it was this new feature that looked pretty interesting. New auto-scaling fields for web services based on request and response time will automatically scale your services.
We have that already.
No, we didn't have that. Not through Copilot. You had it in ECS.
Copilot. Okay.
Yeah, through Copilot.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Copilot. So could you have done this in ECS before? Yes, but you couldn't have done it with Copilot. Now in your Copilot config.
Nice.
Yeah. Little by little, Dave. Congratulations. Thank you for each little thing. Okay.
But does the Copilot become in a way almost obsolete with the first news we have?
With Lightsail containers?
Lightsail containers?
Yeah. Well, I don't know that it's...
used them,
so, well, okay, so if Lightsail containers is like ACI, that means it's just a single container and don't try to talk between two different things. Whereas with Copilot, I can work with both web services and background tasks.
But both are still kind of, I think, really not for kind of complex use cases. I see them still targeting very similar users in a way.
Yeah, I think so. Not very complex, but just a little bit more complex than what Lightsail can do.
Yeah.
So this is actually a good thing, even though it seems like they're being a bit schizophrenic of all the different offerings. But you've got different offerings now. So if all you need is Lightsail containers, just use that. Don't spin up EKS. If you need background tasks, well, I could sort of do that with Lightsail, but it's easier with Copilot because that's a native feature of Copilot because of ECS. You've got options, right? Yeah. Even though we're not necessarily always in love with the strategy, what we cannot say is we don't have options. We've got lots of options.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's good. Okay, now, moving on to the last one, or the next couple ones, I think. One of these was, okay, so Vaku, whatever it is, I don't know why that popped up. Must be new. So this is something I had no clue about, but it looked interesting. CLI and API for running path and folder-based operations on the Vault key value secrets engine. Why wouldn't I just use the normal Vault? It extends the existing Vault CLI and API, allowing you to run the same path-based blah, blah, blah on folders. So I guess this was just a missing feature.
Yeah.
Okay. And test. Don't even have an example here. Maybe, or did I miss it? Okay, I did miss it. Let's go over and take a look at it here real quick, just see if there's anything that jumps out at us. So folder list. So it just makes it easier to work with folders.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this one you added, and I have no idea what this is about. What is this about?
So I'm kind of torn with this one. I haven't used it yet. So my first reaction was, hey, another Kubernetes dashboard. Please, kill me now. Kill me now. But then people told me, hey, can Headlamp, their company does really cool stuff. I'm not familiar with them, so I cannot say that, or company behind it. But so a lot of price for it, and my first reaction was, another one.
Yeah.
The only thing that struck me there, trace loops. That's the part actually the only part that got my attention. Because I heard a lot of people speaking very well about Inspector Gadget. Again, I haven't had. When will I try all the tools, Darin?
Never.
Never.
We can't. I just no.
If I sleep less, would it? No.
You're already sleeping not enough, so no, you can't sleep less. You shouldn't sleep less. Okay, so I'll leave this one for you to decide. Do you want to? It's a really long page. Holy cow! Multi-cluster support. Yeah. Okay.
Everybody has it.
Yeah, but I guess you have to call it out in relationship to locomotive Kubernetes. So Kinvolk also has a distribution. Oh, great.
Yet another UI.
Yet another UI. Okay. So, okay. Well, it is Apache based and okay. May be interesting, may not be. I don't know. I have to admit though, I do sort of like the 8-bit looking logo. It's sort of cool. Okay. Enough with tools. My head hurts with tools, especially things flashing right now. I don't want to see things flashing. I've had an inner ear thing going on for about 2 weeks, so it's like I'm a bobblehead today, and not feeling very top of the game, but I'm getting here because the show must go on. Always does. Okay. Before we move on to the last thing here, your video this week. By the way, it's a very happy video. Let me get us back to where we need to be. Hey, there you are. You need more sleep. You have bags under your eyes.
So you might want to watch this video fast because it is very likely that I will remove it
Really?
over the
Why
weekend.
is that?
Yeah. I'm learning more about Flux and changing my opinion.
Oh. Flux versus Argo.
Flux 2.
Flux 2.
No.
Okay.
This
So, right-
video
Okay.
is doing injustice to Flux in some parts. Now, injustice because it's poorly documented, impossible to figure it out. So, it's not only me being stupid, but there's more to it than what I presented. So there might be another one on the same subject next Tuesday.
Okay. So you may actually do a takedown, an internal takedown.
Yeah. I don't know how to do that even. Probably make it private, right? Or something like that.
It's the easiest thing to do. Make it private. Okay. By the way, if you're not part of the Slack channel, go sign up for it down there. There's our Twitter handles. KubeCon. Are you tired of KubeCon yet? It's only been
I am
2.5 days, right?
Yeah, but this might be my first conference in years. That first 2 days I watched talks from the opening keynote until the end. I never do that. I don't know what made me do that.
Was there nothing new on Netflix?
I don't know. I just said to myself, hey, I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to do it. I have an opportunity to actually be in a real hallway. And I'm not very fond of Slack chats and stuff like that. That makes me nervous. And no. So, hey, let Victor watch all the talks. All the talks.
No. So what has been interesting from a keynote perspective, and by the way, you can go back and watch Victor's hallway chats from Wednesday and Thursday. Just go look up. You can say the name.
I've wrote notes. I never write notes. Can I read the notes?
Please do.
This
ready?
is kind of like live transmission. Imagine that you're watching now KubeCon first day KubeCon opening keynotes, and I'm a commentator. Sponsor talks were silly at best, most likely boring. Should I stop watching and save myself from painful agony? There are 70 plus projects in CNCF. Enough, please. Even mentioning CNCF project was a commercial. Even though they're saying OSS, it's commercial. Another commercial, certifications, another thing trying to sell me. Connection broke for the 5th time. I might be lucky. I might be forced to switch to Netflix. No such luck. It's back online. Finally moving to no commercial project, but it's still boring as hell. Those were the notes I made during the keynotes. And I read them as they are. I really disliked opening keynotes. And first day, second day was better.
So last year we did a bonus episode of the podcast. We're going to let this sort of be that fill in. And again, it's still going on right now. What has been the most impressive thing you've seen? What has been the most surprising thing you've seen?
I will not say impressive, but I will say that I really truly enjoyed only the talks that were in the contributor track, right? And mostly because they were more spontaneous, less rehearsed, and all that stuff. Like there was a session about past, present, future of Helm. 3 people just talking, right? And I really, really enjoyed it. And then there was a talk about progressive delivery from Stefan from VWorks. It wasn't live, but I spoke with him afterwards. He just kind of sat in front of the computer and told the story without really preparing to that and reading. And so talks like that were interesting to me because, and here I will probably sound snobbish now, but the worst combination is that if you're not good at speaking and you prepare too much, it's so much better when people just kind of present, just talk about your stuff, because otherwise it sounds like reading news, and I cannot stand that. It makes me very nervous.
I mean, it feels like this show.
No, where are the notes?
Yeah, we don't. Other than links, we don't have notes.
Links, yeah. I mean, bullet points. That's okay.
Yeah.
I really like about the part about telemetry. That was the second day keynote, because it just, I like how it is evolving towards the point where OpenTelemetry might become a standard that everybody will have to implement, and that will. I always like going towards some kind of API standard, so I'm less dependent on specific vendor, and I really like where that is going. How Thanos is progressing is absolutely awesome. Thanos, for whomever is not familiar, is a way how to preserve historical data in Prometheus. I mean, that's one of the features. That's the feature I like the most. Scale it and all that stuff. And the rest was mostly random sessions with developers talking about their stories.
What's been one of those stories that sort of made you go, never thought about that?
Yeah, there was one. Apple going full on Kubernetes. And that was something very unexpected for me. First of all, Apple being in public, open source, that took me off guard. That's not anything against Apple, but Apple is known to be very, very close company, right? Apple speaking in a keynote of CNCF, I have it talks later, praising open source, moving full on to Kubernetes. By the way, Apple was Mesos shop. That was surprising to me. Unexpected, surprising.
Yeah, I did notice. I didn't see it, but I saw one still that said they were Mesos. Had been Mesos, or are they still Mesos in their transition?
I mean, anybody that size, whatever
Still
they
has.
were,
Yeah.
they will continue being that in some capacity or another for a long time, if not forever.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's the same thing like when a bank says we're moving to Kubernetes. Yeah, you still have mainframe. You know that.
Yeah.
There is never escaping.
So, since you didn't have to get on a plane to go to KubeCon US, what are you doing with your spare time? I'm setting this up for you. This is the setup for talking about your hallway conversation.
Yeah. So yeah, we had hallway tracks yesterday, day before yesterday, and today. So every day after the last session in KubeCon, I don't know what my time. It's midnight.
1.
Eastern,
No,
that would be.
what's 1 p.m. 1 a.m. your time. So it's 7 p.m. Eastern.
Midnight.
Was it earlier tonight?
No, it was midnight every day.
Oh, okay.
Anyways,
What's coming out? You're right. Because I would catch it right as it was going off at 7 my time.
Anyway, and commenting about what is and what was going on in Kubernetes KubeCon.
Mm-hmm.
Except that there are more panelists and different people are kind of circulating. So like I was there yesterday and day before yesterday, but I will not be there today simply to make that rotation. I think 4 or 5 people, 6 every day. It was cool. It was fun.
I saw Brett was going to be on today, I think.
Yes, Brett is going to be. The major difference between that hallway track and the show you're watching right now is that here I'm not constrained and I'm speaking my mind. So my interpretation of first day keynote was very different in the hallway track.
Yes, you have, because that's the day job.
That's the day job. That's the day.
This is not the day job.
I don't know. Yeah. So if I'm okay, I'm used to pissing people off in my private time, even though that flows into public and then becomes. But at least when I'm a company dime, I'm restraining myself a little bit.
Yep. Has it been worth your time to sit in front of your computer and watch KubeCon?
The first thing about KubeCon. Here's the first thing. I've been watching kind of, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 hours straight the first and second day, right? Now, there is no mobile version. I really, really wanted to go to the couch, lay down, bed, whatever, stretch out, put mobile next to me with sound, and play Assassin's Creed Valhalla while KubeCon is going on.
Wait, you can play Assassin's Creed on your what is it called? What was that game box you bought?
No, I'm playing it Stadia.
On Xbox?
Yeah,
Stadia.
No,
Not
I
Stadia.
can Stadia. It's online. There is no boxes.
No. But there's another one that you had just bought.
That's for arcade games.
Yes.
All these 80s.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't okay. All right. Sorry. Divergent.
This
Let's come back.
run probably on my new my new computer even.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, coming back to real things, you wish you could have had a mobile version of it, just so you could have gone somewhere else. You could have turned and looked at it, but then turned back to Assassin's Creed.
No, I mean I'm exaggerating now with Assassin's Creed, but I think it's.
No, you're not.
It's I'm not, but not necessarily. But kind of if you're home and it takes hours, then having it on mobile, maybe taking with me to kitchen.
Yeah.
If I would ever cook, I don't. But imagine that I do, right? Yeah. And having it there. Now, this is probably problem that applies to me and nobody else because since I bought my desktop. Mm-hmm. I honestly don't know where my laptop is anymore. I haven't turned it on. I'm locked at home. I'm not traveling. I don't know where it is. Everybody else probably doesn't have that problem. They're carrying their laptop with them around the house, I guess.
Yeah. That's what I do. I come in the studio, I have my laptop here, and then I carry it back to the office. This is not my office, by the way.
The decision about the desktop, one part important, it was to force me into being in the office when it's work. Because what I've been doing before is that I would then work for some hours in the office and then go to the couch and continue working there, and then kind of, watch a movie, but then turn on the computer 15 minutes later because I remembered something. So now it's almost as if going to the real office. There is no computer outside. And it's awesome.
Okay, so speaking of, and right now you have an iMac.
Yes.
But the Apple M1s started shipping. And one thing, I don't have any notes on this, but I have noticed a few threads that a bunch of dev tools just don't work.
Yeah. I assume that's a given, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we are probably the worst profession for buying new Silicon Macs right now, because each of us probably has, I don't know, tens or hundreds of random tools installed, right? That might or might not work and all that stuff, right? I mean, an average person has a browser, and then, I don't know, if he's doing movies, he has Final Cut Pro. If he's doing video, music, you have 2-3 tools, 4 or 5. We have hundreds.
Yep. So I am
but
not
I
even...
understood that it's impressive what they did, right? And probably half a year from now, it will be just amazing for us as well.
The one thing that I've noticed, based on what some other people are saying, is people are whining that it's only 16 gig of RAM. But the thing I've realized is because of the architecture, we can't think of RAM the same way anymore. I mean, we can think of it just as a base thing, but it's not exactly the same.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I think that more applies to CPU and the speeds and stuff like that. They're definitely different, right?
Yeah. So,
I wouldn't dare, to be honest, to buy any laptop right now with less than 32 gigs. That's my minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, minimum, optimum, right? 32 is just fine, but I'm not buying anything for less. And I guess Apple not releasing 16-inch Mac, which is assumed to have, more memory and stuff like that, means that they still need to work on making it bigger, let's say.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see when they go to the next level of MacBook Pros, what that really looks like. Give it a year.
New MacBook Pro, but it's 13-inch.
No, that's what I'm saying, is when they get to the not 13s.
Yeah. But it's half a year.
Yeah. Okay. You were on a podcast this week with our friend Adam Hawkins.
Oh, yeah. That was such a pleasant conversation. Adam is awesome. Big shot. Big thumbs up for Adam.
Yep. The episode was, not surprisingly, titled GitOps and ArgoCD. The link for that will be down in the description or in the show notes if you want to go back and listen to that. It runs about an hour. It's he was very polite. He let you go longer than what I typically let other people go.
I feel that we were interrupting each other quite a lot. I'm not sure whether he removed that from the podcast or not.
No, you were still interrupting, but he did a really good job editing as well. So, does that mean you have a call to go to?
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay. So you don't have to do the show today.
Not doing the show today.
Is this it for you today? Are you done? After
no,
we're done here?
No, I'm not. I mean, depends. How you define done? I'm done with office work.
Yeah.
But now I so feel bad for misunderstanding Flux 2. Even though it's not documented well, that I need to do everything in my power to make it available for Tuesday.
Just go to sleep and get up tomorrow and do it.
No, I cannot sleep when I have things in my head.
Okay. Anything else about KubeCon? Because we probably haven't answered everybody's questions about it. Was it worth going to? Let's ask that, because
I don't know anymore. To be honest,
Let's talk about this whole virtual conference thing. Is that what you're heading towards, or is it something else?
Yeah, virtual conferences. Those virtual conference apps, web interfaces, they're just silly. They should disappear from the face of the earth. Like, I mean, what I want is conferences to say no to those things. Just stream it on YouTube and have a conversation in Slack, and that's it. Kind of, I don't understand why reinventing all those things. The only thing missing in my story is to figure out how to stream on YouTube, but only to people who paid tickets or whatever is there, right? And
you can't do that perfectly, but you can get close. People could still hand out.
You can just unlisted links. Exactly. I mean, it's not a big deal. Like I cannot guarantee that the same thing wouldn't be happening for YouTube, but keynotes first day, we're breaking off all the time. Kind of, you listen for a few minutes and then a few minutes of nothing, and then listen and nothing, and listen and nothing, right? Now, I understand it's a very complex thing to stream to so many people, right? It's a complex thing, but it's a complex thing that is solved. And the solution is called YouTube or Twitch or any of the, right? I'm pretty sure that for YouTube, that spike in KubeCon viewership is kind of, they wouldn't even notice it on their stats.
Well, and it's not, you're saying or YouTube or Twitch. It should be YouTube and Twitch. Yes, and if you want Facebook and fill in the Periscope, and why not just blow it out everywhere? Who cares?
Yeah, the only reason why I would stick with one is that, communication, like comments, maybe better in one place. Gating people that are, through unlisted links may be easier if it's one place. But yes, stream it to one of those or all of those, doesn't matter. But and on top of that, the interface, the way how it looks, oh my God, it reminded me of 90s when I was creating web pages with animated GIFs. It's so horrible. And then you go there, introduction to KubeCon, before the KubeCon starts, kind of like there is a tiny, tiny screen somewhere where you see Priyanka talking. She's good at talking and all that stuff. Horrible.
So right now you're saying this for the customer experience, for the content
is content. I cannot judge any more content because it's my job in a way to follow what's going on. So I'm not getting surprises. I'm not really hearing much of the things I don't know already, stuff like that. So my experience from the content perspective is probably not the same as others would have, right?
Right.
Hence, hanging in hallways normally. But software, I can judge that. No sane person likes that experience. Nobody.
Okay. Do we let that be it so you can go take a break before you start doing Flux 2 again?
Flux 2, baby.
Anybody have any questions? Go ahead. If you got some questions, go and drop them in the chat.
I'm not guaranteeing that the redone video Flux 2 will put it in a better light. I'm not saying that.
But it might.
It might.
But it might not.
Put it in worse, yes.
Yeah. What this has shown you is that you have to. You made some bad assumptions, or based on it's not assumptions. What's the word I'm looking for?
The docs I always start with a picture in my head. I want to accomplish this, right? I don't go through and just do the same thing as what is in a quick start, right? I create my own picture and then I try to figure out how to accomplish that picture. That's kind of intentional. And I couldn't do what I wanted to do. And now I can. But now the doubt I have is I don't think that I could figure that out just based on docs, unless I go deep into some hidden avenues of the docs, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, I had a lot of help today with Stefan. He's the guy that actually made Flux 2 originator. But I kind of have to ignore the help I got from him because I want to put myself in the shoe of a person that
didn't have
doesn't have a hotline, kind of like, hey,
Right.
Stefan.
It's nice to have hotlines to people when you need them, Dave.
But it reminds me of Cold War, right? What is happening with GitOps is that we have one goes on top and then the other one suddenly kind of Flux was the thing. And then ArgoCD, I think, killed Flux. I mean, became better, right? And now
Right.
Flux 2 is maybe wait, next Tuesday. But it's Cold War, it's arms race, which is a great thing.
I don't think you've ever referenced GitOps as a Cold War before. Now, for some of the people watching, they may not have any idea what Cold War even means.
Oh yeah, are we that old?
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
Well,
Do they not teach that in school anymore?
Dude, I haven't been in school in 40 years. I don't know. And we homeschooled for real. So it's like not because of pandemics or anything, but we actually homeschooled. So it's like, I mean, we taught it as part of history, but anyway. Okay. If you don't have anything else, I might go and wrap it up. Next Friday is, in the U.S., is a holiday, or it's the day after the big holiday, Thanksgiving. We will still have a show next Friday, unless I decide not to. But we probably will because we're actually recording the rest of our podcast episodes for the rest of the year on Friday, which I need to send you the invites for. And
so the summary is we might do it or we might not. That's the summary.
More than likely we will do it because I don't have anything big going on. Let's see. Was there any trend or possible trend that based on KubeCon seems to solidify?
Not that I spotted, to be honest. Not that I spotted. But again, there are so many talks, like 20 talks in parallel, something like that. So I listened to maybe 8 talks in total. So it's very hard to say. But I haven't spotted any new special trend.
Any new info on Knative?
No, I haven't seen anything about Knative. I don't remember whether that's because I skipped over it or there wasn't.
Or there wasn't anything. Yeah. That would be weird.
But knowing Google, kind of like they might be wrapping it up and kind of not maybe so much focus on Knative anymore.
Why do you say that?
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
I mean, they did something similar on Istio. I mean, yes, it's not that there is less focus on Istio, but Istio is becoming more closed, more under complete control of Google. And given that I suspect that GCR is one of their strategic services, not just a service. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. I was doing a quick check to see if anything else had come in this past hour. Nothing major has dropped news-wise that I could find anyway. At least not that we look at. So let's call it a day. At some of the meetings I've been on, hey, I'll give you 7 minutes back. Look.
Hey.
It's my time anyway. It's not yours to have. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Depends on what time of day it is. And I get to go back into my hole and work with Ansible and Vagrant and other things.
Oh, joy.
That will be coming out soon.
Vagrant is such a revolutionary product, right? At the time. But
It still is.
Used it.
It still is.
Yeah, I am sure that. I've been so obsessed with Kubernetes.
Yeah, and you don't need it anymore.
No, not only Kubernetes, but cloud, right? It's not that I haven't done anything not Kubernetes, but hey, EC2, you know?
Yeah. Well, just so I don't have to spend any money, Vagrant. That's the reason why. At some point, it will scale out of Vagrant. I did not check Jeff Geerling's Kubernetes 101 yet. We had a link to that last week. I need to try to catch up on that on this weekend. Because I think actually, no, we had the link last week. He started it on Wednesday. So if you're new to Kubernetes, if you're watching this replay and you're like, whatever, we haven't seen it, but anything Jeff does is usually pretty good.
Yeah.
So if you need a good basic understanding, go check out Jeff's stuff. I'll try to remember to put the link in.
If you need basic understanding, you're not probably listening to this.
Why not?
Most of the things we speak about is somehow related with Kubernetes. That must sound very, very weird for somebody who doesn't have basic understanding of what Kubernetes is.
I have a basic understanding of what it is, and it still sounds weird to me. Okay. Let's go and wrap it up for today. We will see you again. Oh wait, let's get it in. There's Vladislav said, great weekend. Dominic, thanks for everybody else that's been here with us live today. Thank you very much. If you're watching the replay, obviously you can go join up in the Slack channel or the Slack workspace. It's right down there. Since I am here, and we haven't really talked about it much recently, if you want to get Victor on your podcast, if you're doing a podcast or a live stream, all of our contact information is at devopsparadox.com/contact. Notice I said it was Victor and not me.
Why not you?
You could, but you're. So I'll put it this way: you're the beauty and I'm the beast. So
nobody called me beauty yet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know that. All right. Robbie, thanks. To everybody else, have a great weekend. We will talk to you next week. If you are in the U.S., have a great Thanksgiving. Eat too much turkey. Take a nap, then take another nap. Later, everybody.
Cheers.